As it's now time for Front Office Insights presented by Sage, and we bring in the president of baseball operations, Andrew Friedman. First off, congratulations on winning another World Series. That never gets old.
Thank you.
It was the all-time World Series classic. It was still remarkable. MLB tonight, MLB Network, I should say, we're going to run a special presentation. Bob Costas, Tom Verducci breaking down that Game 7. That's how special it was. But let's talk about Edwin Díaz first. As Ronnie just said, your team was so strong. Modern-day Goliath. You got bullpen. Well, go get Díaz. He's the best closer available. What was the thought process there?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard for us to talk about right now, but we can talk in theory.
Sure.
You know, for us, and you guys touched on it, there's so many different ways to win, and for us, it's about, you know, figuring out the strength of our roster, leveraging it the best we can, and in 24, it was through our bullpen, and in 25, it was really through our rotation. And, you know, our bullpen obviously didn't perform up to the standard that we expected going into the year, and it was pretty surprising to us. And, you know, every spring training I talk about the thing that keeps me up at night is the bullpen. It feels like every year I feel the best about it is the years it's the worst. The years I feel the worst about it, the years it's the best. And there's such volatility to it. You know, those guys are tightrope walkers for a living. It's hard. And so for us, if we were able to strengthen that and add to it with what we feel like will be a really strong group coming back and some bounce back, that it has a chance to be a strength again.
I think what I find remarkable about your team, yes, you have some of the best players in the game, but you have the right players too. And this is a team that, even though they have back of their baseball card is filled with great exploits, they're hungry. You can tell when you're in that clubhouse, when you're talking to Dave Roberts, when you see them on the field. I was watching your team warm up before batting practice in the NLCS. It was as good of a well-oiled machine that I've seen in baseball in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing for us. And, you know, obviously, you know, those long-term commitments, they're challenging. And it's so important to us to get the right kind of person. The talent is easier to identify, not easy,
Yeah.
but the type of person, the work ethic, how much they care is really important to us. And I think you can see through our longer-term commitments, those guys, and it stands out to me every day watching our star players, their daily routine, how they prepare to go win a baseball game that night, and then looking across the field. Every day I kind of say to myself, like, this stands out, and I can't say enough about our guys, the culture that has been created within them, and just how much they care about winning.
You know, Joe, when you look at Mookie Betts, you know he's chomping at the bit to get to spring training and put this year behind him, right? And getting a chance to see him go through from day one, when you went to Japan, not being healthy, not being sick, you know, what do you foresee for him as far as just, is he the everyday shortstop and, you know, moving forward for, you know, for a long time and being healthy and getting to camp the way he's been in the past?
Yeah, I can't say enough about Mook, and I don't think enough attention has been highlighted on the fact that he became a finalist for the Gold Glove.
Yeah.
There was question whether he could do it or not.
Yeah.
To the people who knew Mookie, it was, you'll never bet against the guy.
Right.
But for him to do that, and he could have very easily won a Gold Glove, and just the way he poured himself into it, obviously getting sick, losing the weight.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Comeback Player of the Year works for a guy who played last year. But I'll bet on whatever that award is, I'll bet on Mook in 2026.
I feel you on that.
Well, what's going to be like, you know, Ohtani in the World Baseball Classic, he's such a workhorse, Andrew. It's incredible, his durability. But the fact he'll be in the WBC and then going over to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that the last World Baseball Classic, and watching, you know, before it started, I went over to Miyazaki and watched Team Japan start warming up and start their practice. I was like, oh my God, these arms, incredible.
Yeah.
And just seeing that whole process play out, and, you know, that final game against the U.S., it was really special. It was fun to watch, and it's not often that I get to watch a baseball game without a real vested interest. To just be a fan and take it in was awesome.
He was throwing 100 in March.
Yeah.
How you do that, Ronnie?
No one knows. No one knows. Right? No, nobody knows. I'll tell you, I had the last game I did this year. I did Game 4, the NLCS. Tani hits the 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts. I didn't work for 6 weeks. How can you work after a game like that?
I hear you.
I'd never seen anything like that before, and we were, I think, very easily seeing the greatest all-around player that ever laced it up.
That's what I feel as well, and I think in some ways he's underrated. I don't think the human brain can wrap its arms around just how incredible it is that he is so elite at both, in the work and the effort and the fatigue, that just all of it. And it's incredible how gifted and talented he is at both, and the impact he's had for us is immeasurable.
Last thought, Rocco Baldelli, one of the great guys in the game. You guys have that connection in Tampa. I love the fact you're bringing him into the fold now. He'll be a special contributor to you, right? Special advisor?
Yeah, he had him as a player, and then he worked with us when I was with the Rays. He is one of the best humans I've been around. Great baseball mind, great connector, and he's excited. He's excited to get involved with our player development and help some of our young, talented outfielders. Just the way his mind works, how he connects with people is next level.
Great move.
Winning on the field, winning off the field. That's the LA Dodgers. And a big credit to this guy, Andrew Friedman. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All the way in from Mexico City after being at the Bad Bunny concert last night to be here with you. What an experience last night must have been, and for you to be here is incredible. You are truly on a world tour.
Yeah, something like that. Last night was a blast, and I'm hoping that today is as fun as it was last night, but I'm just happy to be here. Anytime I can be in LA with some Dodger fans, it's always a good time, and like always, thank you guys. Thanks for the love.
What's it like to be as beloved as you are in this city? I mean, these people showed out for you. Wherever you go, it seems like there's always a big following, a big group of fans.
It's overwhelming at times, but it's truly appreciated. It's very humbling to know that I'm supported and loved as much as I am here in this city, so far away from my home in Puerto Rico. But that love always goes back to them, and it's been 9 years on this team, and it's been the best 9 years of my life.
Back-to-back World Series champions. It happened so quickly. What's it been like for you since the parade, just soaking in what you guys were able to accomplish?
Well, I had surgery, so I didn't have much time to think about it. But the only thing that it comes to your mind is let's do it again. Simple.
Yeah. Three-peat has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I think that's trademark, so we can't do it. But I like to go back to back to back.
Have you watched any of the highlights of Game 6 or Game 7? The play specifically that you made to end Game 6?
I watched it a few times, but the one that's always everywhere is when Pajes almost killed me. So I've watched that one a few times.
And when you see it from that angle, you were involved in it. From what I understand, did you believe the ball fell? And when you watch it, do you still think the ball is going to drop before the play is completed?
No. When I think about it now, when I look at it, is one, I still think I could have caught it. Two, I don't know why he jumped, but I'm just glad he caught it. That's it.
Is it true that you thought the ball dropped and you thought you lost the World Series before he let you know what happened?
Yeah, because I had my back towards the field, and then I was slowing down to get, I was basically underneath the baseball, and the last thing I thought was going to happen was somebody was going to run me over, and as soon as he ran me over, I thought there was no way he was going to catch it. I was underneath the ball, and he ran me over, so we lost. And as I'm on the ground, I'm just thinking, we just lost the World Series, and I'm laying on the ground. That's going to be replayed forever. And it's still being replayed forever, but for the other reason.
Yeah, no doubt. Everybody's very happy Andy Pajes was able to run you over and catch it. When you look back at what a close teammate of yours, Yoshi Yamamoto, was able to do, we think back to you taking him out after one of the Padres games in the DS last year. Whatever you said obviously worked not only last October, but the entire season. How proud are you of Yamamoto and the warrior that he was for you guys this year?
Really proud, obviously. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have won the World Series. But, basically our conversation it was just basically telling him, man, I think you're the best pitcher in the world. Just go out there and show people who you are. And he's done nothing but that. And for him to, go 2 complete games and a back-to-back starts and then not only win Game 6, but then take the mound the very next day on no day's rest, and not only that, but to throw the most outs out of any of our pitchers that night was incredible. He truly put a Superman cape on, and he delivered.
Is it fair to say, going back to last year, you may have believed he was capable of doing what he did more than maybe he was before having that conversation?
Potentially, yeah, and that's why I, decided to take him outside of, a team environment without a team translator and all that, and I basically just wanted him to believe what I believed in him, and I'm sure he's never really lacked confidence, but at times, being in a different country and I've been on that mound, even though I'm not a pitcher. Sometimes it's the loneliest feeling in the world. So I just wanted him to know that, your teammates, we believe in you. We think you're the greatest, and then, we're right behind you, supporting you. And, he was able to relax a little bit and deliver that Game 5 against the Padres, pitched really well Game 3 against the Mets, did the same thing again in Game 2 against the Yankees, and then obviously the rest is history. He had an unbelievable season, and like I said, he was superhuman in the playoffs.
So is Kike Hernandez, who is as clutch as they come in the month of October. The Dodgers yesterday made it official, signing a fellow Puerto Rican, Edwin Díaz. Everybody's so excited about Timmy Trumpet. Does anybody have Timmy Trumpet on their phone yet? I know my son's playing it every time he goes to school. I find it hard to believe that Edwin Díaz, leaving the Mets after all these years, never called Kike Hernandez. He actually said that he tapped into about how they treat families with the Dodgers, but how much did you play into recruiting Edwin Díaz?
I played a little bit of a part. I called Andrew and I let him know that, the NRS was legit, that the Dodgers were not just leverage, and, that we had a real opportunity of going after this guy and getting this guy. In my mind, the best closer in baseball right now. And, once I knew that the negotiations were getting real, I reached out to Sugar and I let him know that, you at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and your family. But the one thing that I can assure you is that if you end up with the Dodgers, you're not going to regret it one bit. You're going to be just fine. Your wife and kids are going to be just fine. I told them the worst thing about the Dodgers organization is that they're so far away from Puerto Rico. And if that's the only thing that's bad about an organization, you're in pretty good hands. And I just let them know, man, like, you come here, you're going to have a chance to win year in, year out. And I think this is the peak of baseball. And as far as an organization, I think this, we play in the big leagues, and the way that the Dodgers treat their people is the way that it should be everywhere. But unfortunately, it's not. And lucky for us, we get to experience that, for 162 games plus. And I just let them know anything you need. Your wife can reach out to my wife, ask any questions that you need to ask. If you have any doubt, no matter, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be baseball. It can be apartments, whatever it is. Just reach out. Feel free to reach out. And next time I heard from him was after I congratulated him for signing.
That's beautiful. Kike Hernandez and the bond of Puerto Rico is so strong. Even though Puerto Rico is so far away from L.A., Kike Hernandez's locker, I expect to be very close to Edwin Díaz. Don't we need Kike Hernandez underneath the Dodgers Christmas tree again? We need Kike Hernandez back for a three-peat, don't we? It feels like it's not a matter of if, but just when. Does it feel that way to you?
Yeah, but of course I just had surgery and I'm not going to be ready for opening day, so there's no rush. If it ends up working our way and we come back to LA, all that matters is that I'm ready for the second half and ready to do my thing in October.
Love it. And the fans want you here in LA for the full season, not just the second half of the year. We're here at the Polo Ralph Lauren store at the Citadel and Com.